No, we don't need to do that. It was a small load. I did it by hand. You're that way, guys. What's going on? Michael Ray Newman, Inside Edge, along with the man, the greatest dude in history of the world, Edwin Britt. What's up, brother?
Hey, Michael Ray. Happy New Year, brother. 2024.
Man, I'm fit to be tied, bro. It's a new year. You know, there's always that new energy, those new things that everybody wants to do, and your new resolutions that you're gonna have. Welcome, guys. Today, I hope you really set in and get engaged no matter where you are. If you're in your car driving to work, if you're walking in the morning doing your non-negotiables, which is a spiritually, mentally, and physically pouring into yourself, whatever you're doing right now, thank you guys for stopping in here on the Inside Edge podcast. I really am, Edwin, like I said, I do have a lot of energy a lot of days. But, man, it just feels like, I used to playing football, you walk out some mornings, you had that field that had little wet grass that had that dew on it. It was just football season. When you were hitting the field and you had your gear on, you could smell a little bit of that locker room smell out of the helmet, and you walk out, it just feels good. And do you ever have that? You walk out in the morning and it smells like football season.
Oh, yeah, I'm having it right now.
That's right, man. You start doing that. So we're kind of in that area, that little vein, guys. We've had so many people that have reached out to us and places that we've come into in a lot of different communities around the United States. So we're so grateful for the bookings we have already this year and the people we're going to be able to impact, man. But it is 2024. It's just starting out. Everybody's got their new goals and
resolutions.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Resolutions, right?
Yeah.
They have your resolutions. And when we do a Finish Strong, Start Fast, we do it at the end of every year. And what it's about is finishing the year with momentum so you can start the next year fast and up and running. So if you're waiting till January to get all your business plan in order, I'm going to tell you something, brother. You are behind the 8 ball. But we had our best event yet. I think it's the best thing we do other than our sales training and our business academy, which is our mastermind class. But we have a lot of fun with that every year, and it's about looking back in the right perspective of what you learned and some of the misses that you had, playing in the now to design your life for this year. And you do something during that class I think is really impactful, Eden, is talk about what's your word. What is your word for the year that you're going to really lean into? Tell us your word and kind of tell us the premise behind that before we jump in.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. It really is the foundational anchor, right, that you come back towards. It's so important to have an anchor. I use a reference about boating. Boating in the waterway is different than boating in the lake. You can drift in the lake, man. You can even drift in the river. You got to be careful about drifting in the river. But you can't drift in the waterway too far. You got to have a front anchor and a back anchor if you want to be where you want to be, right? And so my one word this year for 2024 is now. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. It creates, I think, a sense of urgency without pressure, and it frees me up to be my creative best now. What's important now, which ties into our win, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a word, and today, early January, whenever you see this podcast, it's not too late to identify one word and let that frame what you want to accomplish. For me, this year was now. What was your one word, Mike?
Man, my one word this year was win. W-I-N, what's important now. Now, I know that we've leaned into that word, and it's part of everything I do every day, but there's a different meaning behind it. And I think the greatest thing about you putting that word out there, Edwin's is now, but the way he defined it, that's what it is for him, right? It can be anything for you, and it can be intentional. And you said something about the words, too. Oh, you said some word. That's too generic. You got to challenge yourself a little bit. What was that?
Well, we have a tendency sometimes to say, intentional is going to be my word, or focus is going to be my word. And the reason for that is people don't feel like they're intentional enough. They're not as focused. We all have these great intentions, and I ask them to go one step further. Be more intentional on what? Be more focused on what? So sometimes it can be the anchor, or sometimes it can be a gateway to designing your plan and designing your life. So I'm going to be more focused in my family life. I'm going to be more focused in my taking care of myself physically so I can be here for my family, whatever it might be. But I think you've got to go that next level if you pick what I would call sort of a generic kind of word.
Yeah, and you got to dig into it and deep down and lean into it. Hey, the best part about the resolutions or the goals, and most people step off into the year and immediately get away. It seems like they get further away right away. But the good news is you're 1 day, 1 second, 1 moment for starting over to being where you want to be. It's okay to fall down. It's not okay to stay there, right?
That's right.
And look, what's the biggest, as resolutions go, I never used that word resolution. I forgot it almost. What it was. As resolutions go, what do you think the biggest mistake people have when they set a goal, especially at the first of the year?
Well, they don't have a plan in order to implement and execute it and follow through. We say it often, Michael. Oftentimes we have to be willing to go as far as we can see, and when we get there, we can see further. But a plan and a process, right, that frames that. So in my case, the word now. For me, that means this year we're going to write a book, right, now. So whatever it is we're going to step through. But that process, right, and that foundation that you run through, that plan, is what is missing for people. So what happens there is when you don't have that frame, you get disillusioned quickly. You don't get the immediate results. You can't focus on the long-range results. So you just said it. You've got to win that stackable day, and then win the next stackable day.
Amen.
Right? And we got to be prepared for the disconnects along the way, the failures along the way. As a quarterback, if you throw an interception, the next pass, what's the most important pass? Not the one you've already thrown, the next pass.
Yep.
You've got to have a framework to do that. This is generically speaking.
Yeah, and how do you get back on track using just the passing thing? How do you get back on track on that next pass? Well, you don't get on track with the next pass thinking about the pass you didn't complete. You also don't get on track by thinking, if I don't complete this, we're really going to be in trouble. You lean back into the process of completing that pass, which is what? Is my footwork, is my arm, it's my release, it's my pre-read, all those things when you're dropping back to throw that pass. And the way you get back on track is to have a process to lean into, Edwin. So when you set those goals, what's my goal? Oh, I'm going to make, $10,000 more. All right, I'm going to make money. Okay, well, what does that look like? What happens when you immediately step off into it and you have this huge bill and it sets you back 1,000, so now you got to make 11? What does it look like? Oh, no, now you're looking how far you're away from the end result opposed to having a process which leads back to that plan. Edwin, that's a pretty powerful statement. What do people get off on that kind of stuff, and how do they? And how can we stay on it by having a plan or a process? And you said something about a data-minded deal. I mean, you said data. I say data. We say potato. Okay. I'm not sure what's what, but anyway.
I think it's one of the big misses, Michael, is so we'll take it from a business perspective, right?
Yep.
If we're out prospecting, we're trying to build our brand, we're trying to build opportunity, right, around these goals, these tangible goals that we have. A big buzzword that's been around for a long time now is the CRM, right? Customer resource management, is that what it represents?
Resource
relationship management, customer relations. So there's an example there where the money, right, is in the list.
That's what we say, yeah.
Yes,
true.
But what you need to really look at is how effective in that case is. So you're out and you're out creating opportunities. What do you have in play to reinforce that, to secure that, to continue to build that relationship? Most people need to look at it this year in 2024 that their relationships are a journey, not a destination. And so specific to sales, so oftentimes we go out and we create an opportunity and we limit ourselves there. And I think by utilizing the CRM, so many well-intended people, because they don't know there's a better way, are limiting themselves. And as a result of that, they're fragmented. So they've got social media. They've got AI now, the big buzzword. They got their customer relations manager. And they got it all spread out. So one way you could do
different apps, different platforms.
All doing different things.
Right.
And here's the end result. They don't use any of them very, very effectively and or not at all.
Not at all, right.
Right? And you've seen that yourself.
Yeah, and we've seen it. We've worked towards it. Now, how do you make? And a lot of things that we do, a lot of trainings we do, a lot of sales trainings we do. How do you make it sticky? Right? How do you make it last? A lot of the coaching. It's really good to coach and get excited about it, but what kind of action can you take? And what is the process? What is the plan? But where can I go to look at the process and manage the plan? That's what we need to do. So we teach the process, just trust. And now that we have that back office, I think that was a big miss for us in our business. And that's how we kind of, it pointed towards other small business owners and other people understanding that you run a business, period. And CRM is a necessary evil. Data is important. The money's in the list. But what's really important is to have a place that you can manage all of it, and making it simple for you and having people dig in and do things for you. And what happens when we have something, we can go back to look at what's important now. Where do we look for that? Well, I wrote it down over here on my day runner, and I put it in my phone. And you have to have one place that you go to and create that discipline, which is part of the process.
Which is why I think one of the underlying reasons you and I are so excited, we have created Edge Connect this year.
Yeah.
And already to phenomenal success. In fact, everyone we have shown it to has said, wow, that's a lot better than what I have. And that's what it does. It integrates all of these various things we're doing, we're spending money on in order to maintain our reputation, to build the brand, to stay in front of people, to stay relevant. Now, do it now. We brought it all together through Edge Connect. So, man, I am so excited about you and I and our team and our entire team taking this around the country and helping solve the problems that so many people have, help them save more money, become more efficient, become more targeted. With that will come more energy. They'll be able to devote more time to what they love to do every day. Man, can you just feel the momentum building here all around you and I and our team building the solution that's relevant to people's problems. Edge Connect this year, man. It's going to be awesome.
That's right. And here's the deal. We always meet you where you are, right? And now that we can measure, monitor, and track where that is, we can meet you where you are. And I don't care who you are, where you are. When you're listening to this right now, find your process. Find what is your word? What is your one word? Comment wherever you see this before. What's your word for the year? Think about it. It's okay if it's not like at the first of the year. Like I said, you're only one moment away from starting out where you be. But where you be? Where you want to go and where you be, right? And I'm gonna get my hair did next week. So what's great about this? You're only one moment away from starting over. What does your back office look like? Where are you tracking your data? What are those relationships that you've had, those key performance indicators on how you communicate with people, key performance indicators on how you keep up with your budget, all those things. Find a way to put them into one place no matter what it is. Guys, if you really want to live a life by design, Mindset of a Champion is a masterclass that you need to lean into. I don't care where you get it from. You need a coach. You need somebody, a mentor, somebody you can lean into. It doesn't matter. But we're here for you. We have a complete program, edgeglobal.us. Look at that. It has everything you need to know in there all the way from top to bottom. Edgeglobal.us is the website, guys. What are your, what are they called? Not goal set. First of the year, you set these resolutions. What's your resolution for the year? What is your goals for the year? What are you really going to do on your 3-1-3? What's a 3-1-3? The next 3 months, what do you want to accomplish? The next year, what is it going to look like? And what is 3 years? Because of those results on every 3 months, every 12 weeks, look at that. And then look 1 year ahead, what you want to be, and plan for those 3 months to end at the 1 year. And then what are the 3 years from that, guys? Lean into that. Thank you, Edwin, for stopping in, man.
My pleasure,
First
buddy.
podcast of 2024. I know, don't tell them when you're going to hear this, but you know it's going to be good. Michael Ray Newman, Edwin Britt, the whole team's here. Inside Edge, guys. Kevin E., Monster Millennial, appreciate you jumping back in with this, brother. And no matter what, if you can't think and remember any of this, go back and listen to it again. That's right. Or do what my granny told me. Just be nice, because people don't remember everything you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. See ya.